In a world of innovation and vitality, Winnipeg City unveiled the impactful Discover Agriculture in the City event for the public to discover the profound impact agriculture has on our daily lives. This free one-day event was a chance to explore the agriculture world for kids and their parents.
It's important for our people to understand what agriculture is, and what we're trying to do is to promote and to educate people in urban audiences about agriculture and the effect it has on our everyday life, how it affects their lives, not just as a farm or as wheat production and that kind of thing. It's also restaurants, it's also research, a lot of research going on in Manitoba specifically in regards to agriculture. It's a big part of our economy, and it's a big part of our culture. So it's really important for people to understand where agriculture fits in, because we all have to support industries that are related to agriculture. Certainly the challenges are, there's many challenges, but there's really some good parts of it, but some of the challenges are the weather, and we are always, agriculture is very much tied to the weather, so if it's too dry or too wet, so it's really important for farmers to understand the weather patterns and that kind of stuff. Also, there's some issues sometimes with workers and getting workers to work in the fields and to work in the agricultural industry.
Manitoba leads the way in agriculture innovation, boasting 24 agri-food research and development centers and providing cutting-edge technology and skills to propel the entire agriculture sector forward.
So today we are here to showcase our newborn processing demonstration. So we have with us Bud, the calf model, and we have our calf weigh scale. So a big part of what we do at MBFI is we process newborn calves when they're born so that we know that they're healthy and safe and that they will produce for our farm in the long run. The biggest challenge I think that people in Winnipeg face is just having the exposure to agriculture and agriculture practices. In Winnipeg, there isn't that much exposure, so sometimes knowledge can get lost and there can be misunderstandings. So that's why events like this are very important, because it brings that chance to bring the agriculture to the city and expose people to the agriculture practices and let them learn and have some fun with it. So today we are here with our calf Bud and our weigh scale. So what we are doing is we are showing students and adults how we process calves. So just like when humans are born, they are weighed, they're cleaned, and there's this whole process of things that happen. And when calves are born, there's a process that we follow as well. So you'll see that we do weighing. We have our weigh scale, so we get a good measurement of what the calf weighs and what it's going to look like, just so we know where it's going to grow and how big it's going to get. So some other things that we do are we give them ear tags. So essentially it's like we're piercing their ears. We give them 2 ear tags, one which is a big dangle tag, you'll be able to see. This is their individual calf number, so this is like their name. And then we also give them a little tiny circular tag called an RFID tag. This tag is a radio frequency tag that can trace the calves across the country no matter where they go. So this is just a way of ensuring that our beef industry stays safe and we know where cattle go and what happens to them. Some other things that we do when we have newborn calves is we give them vitamins. This is done through injections, but we don't have any demonstration of that here today. And lastly, what we do is we record keep. We make sure we write down everything that we do, what the calf weighs, what it gets. We write it all down and we keep it in our nice little calving record book so that we can look back at our records anytime we need and we know what has happened.
In 2021 alone, Canada's agriculture and agri-food system generated over $134.9 billion to the nation's GDP and employed 2.1 million people across the country, with 35,260 jobs right here in Manitoba.
We are here today representing all of the berry U-pick farms here in Manitoba, and it's very important to us to talk to the public, to make them aware of all of the U-pick farms that are here in Manitoba, that they can go to their farms, they can pick their own berries, they can see where their food comes from, and they can meet the farmer and they can see how the berries got from plants to berries to the table. Really, the biggest challenge that we probably all face is the unpredictable weather, because all of our farms are outside and we can't predict if there's going to be a frost, if there's going to be enough water, if it's going to be too hot or too dry. So that is our biggest challenge as fruit growers in Manitoba. I think by being aware that that is one of our challenges and we can't control that. So some years we might have more berries than other years. And so I think consumers just understanding that some years are better than others and we might not have as many berries as other years, or they might not be as big as other years based on the weather. So I think consumers having an understanding of that takes a little bit of the stress away from us as growers. For newcomers coming to Canada that are interested in farming, I think reaching out to any of these organizations that are here today, we all have connections with farms. There might be farms that have children that aren't interested in carrying on the farm, so there might be opportunities there. Making relationships with, yes, any of these organizations, any of farms, visiting them is a great way to start, I think.
Discover Agriculture in the City provided to attendees exhibitor booths, food fight presented by the University of Manitoba, and hands-on activities.
I think what happens in the springtime is the farmers decide what they're going to be planting for the season. So if there's been a dry winter, then it sometimes affects what they're going to be planting and things like that. So this is a really important time of year for the farming community in regards to trying to identify what's going to be grown and stuff. Also, market prices affect what you will grow and what you can sell. So it's really important. It's hard to say. Everybody is really enthusiastic at the beginning of the year, and then hopefully it works out for everybody. Bringing information about agriculture to kids is very, very important. We started Discover Agriculture in the City about 23 years ago in Winnipeg, and one of the reasons we started it was because at that time when you asked kids where does your food come from, a lot of them said they come from the store, they come from Safeway, so they don't know where it comes from. So this is really to engage the kids in regards to this is where your food comes from, and this is why it's important to support the farming community and the agricultural community. When you think about it, we started 23 years ago. Let's say we spoke to a 5-year-old 23 years ago. That person's 28 years old now, and that means that they've been identified or they've been exposed to a lot of the types of things that we're trying to say. Many things that we give away, kids keep for a long time, and it's just something part of their knowledge in regards to agriculture. So yeah, it's important. One of the things also that's important is that University of Manitoba is here right now doing a food fight, and kids think that that's cool. They go to university, they start studying for the agricultural industry, they start doing a lot of research, and that's really important for them to understand that it's not just farming, but it's everything else too, in terms of research, in terms of retail, in terms of developing new products, in terms of marketing, in terms of communications. So it's important.
This annual event isn't just about awareness. It's about highlighting the significant contributions agriculture has on Manitoba's economy and underscoring its vital importance to all Canadians. The story was written and produced by Zuhair Al-Masri and voiceover by Hala Al-Hamed.